The differences between two different types of common revolvers, the Colt model and the Smith & Wesson, are pretty easy to discern, but useful all the time in the field to know the differences. The Smith & Wesson is one of the most common revolvers made. Now I'm going to talk about the Snubbies here. These Snubbies meaning the short-barreled models, usually in .38 or .357, but these features are across the board similar to all Smith & Wesson models, as they are to all Colt models, differences forthwith. Here you have this is a stainless steel bodyguard. It's a very good little snub nose. It's made by Smith & Wesson, and you see there's no hammer on the back. We'll show you the hammer on the Colt, and Smith & Wesson makes hammered revolvers as well that you may cock and discharge. But this is the Smith & Wesson. It has no exposed hammer. That's why it looks a little different. The way you dismount this revolver or see that it's empty is to push this forward. See the little stippling here? It's to get the traction on your thumb. As you push this forward, you can reach around behind it and open the cylinder, checking to see that it's empty. Notice that the Smith & Wesson dismounts by pushing this lever forward. The Colt is a little different. It's the same functions, but it's applied a little differently. Notice the dismount lever on this weapon is pulled backwards. You can tell that because of the little knurling, or the device here is made to hook your thumb on it like that and pull it back, and then it's easy to dismount. The other difference between all Colt revolvers and Smith & Wessons is the way the cylinder rotates. As you rotate the cylinder on a Colt, notice it rotates clockwise. When you rotate the cylinder on a Smith & Wesson, notice that the cylinder rotates counterclockwise. Clockwise for the Colt and counterclockwise for the Smith & Wesson. This gun is also a little different. It not only takes a .357 cartridge, but in that it takes a .357, that means it will also accept .38 caliber, a slightly lower powered round. Notice also that this heavy stainless steel model, called a 649, the 6 refers to stainless steel, the 49 is the actual model number. Notice that this particular revolver only holds 5 rounds, and it's because it was a trade-off to make it light and carryable, but yet strong enough to withstand the power of the .357 round, which is one of the most powerful handgun rounds. Now here again, the Colt, this is a .38 caliber Colt. This particular gun weighs much less. It's a light alloy frame. It weighs a pound empty, versus the full stainless steel gun that weighs a good 3/4 of a pound more. Colt makes this exotic, very fairly expensive model called a Cobra, and this one is in a nickel plate, so it was big money even when it was new, and now they're even more. They also make and still have available the Cobra, or in this case it's the Agent, and this is a less highly finished or less highly polished but identical brother to this other Colt called the Cobra. The Agent has a rubber grip, no Colt logo on the side plate, and as you'll notice, it dismounts exactly the same way. It is precisely the same firearm, but with less finish and glossiness to it. Functions the same way. These are .38 caliber revolvers, both of these, and they have 6 shots. Not all Smith & Wessons that you're going to find are 5-shot models. Don't misunderstand. There are some 6 shots out there. Just understand that this particular one is a 5-shot. There are even some 7-shot revolvers out there. So these are all excellent concealed carry weapons for the person that feels that a revolver is best suited for them. They function flawlessly, and there's no issues in terms of understanding how to clear a malfunction or a failure to feed that you might on a semi-automatic handgun, and they go bang pretty well every time. The only unusual thing about any snub nose is most of them come with a fairly unusual sighting system. Notice the rear sight system here is a little different. It's just a tube channel, and it has to be lined up fairly accurately. Once again, these are guns that are not target guns. They're not for distance shooting. As a friend once said, these are guns for a gunfight in a closet. Thanks, and just watch what you're doing. Always make sure the weapon is clear and safe before you handle it. And it never hurts, absolutely, whenever you pick up a gun, open it and clear it. Even if you've turned your back on it 1 minute ago, clear it every time you open it. Stay safe and have some fun with firearms.